that they'll give and give and give, and they'll speak about the generosity of others. And it's something that makes people proud. And know Allah, I gave. These days, in people's gathering, is something that makes people proud. Wallahi, I stole this from this guy. I snitched money from that guy. Or increased the price on this guy. Wallah, and he wants people to look up to him. It's something that, wallah, I did good. No, it was, even among the Arabs, non-Muslim Arabs, they have this good quality in them. And there's a lot of stories that speak about the generosity of the Arabs. The other good quality they had in them is the sticking up for each other. Al-Unjuhiyya. They had a good side of that and a bad side. But the good side of that is they stick up. When they give their word, they give their word. They had a man's word back then. And when someone gives a word, it's very hard to pull out of it or withdraw his word. They had the respect of the elders. They had the respect of the elders. They used to respect the elders, and the respect of the elders used to be exposed. And they had the love to their families. And they had the good manners of speaking to people, and they had the nice words to be spoken to people. So there was good manners among them, and that was the good side. But there was also the bad side. They had oppression and discrimination. That I am a free man, he's a slave. Yani I'm respected, he's a garbage. To that stage. I come from this tribe, this guy comes from that tribe. They had oppression in, if someone comes from a big family, they go and steal or take something from someone from a small family and walk off. Until once it was made in Dar Abdullah bin Jada'an a treaty, a agreement that the Prophet Muhammad said the best thing I've seen before Islam is that treaty in the house of Abdullah bin Jada'an. And this treaty or this agreement was made because an outsider who came with a stock to sell in Mecca, and one of the members of the respected tribes in Mecca took the stock from him and didn't give his money. So that outsider tried to get and reclaim his good back. And this man who comes from a respected family thought he's got a strong party behind him. He cared nothing. So this outsider stood on a mountain or a hill of the hills of Mecca and called upon the people of Mecca, and he said, "O people of Mecca, what such an action and an act happening within this holy place." And he spoke to a few leaders. So they got together, and the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was among those people who got together in the house of Abdullah bin Jada'an, and the agreement was to support the oppressed, to stand by those who have been oppressed. And the first action they took is to force that man to return the good of this outsider of Mecca back to him. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, that was the best thing I've seen in the Jahiliyyah. So these were good qualities of them. So as I said, they had their good side, they had their good qualities, that some of the scholars said that these are one important points, or one important things that Allah Azza wa Jalla chose the Arabs to be the carriers of the flag of Islam, or the first carriers of the flag of Islam. And then the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ came, and whatever good he saw, he accepted and made it better. And whatever bad he saw, he rejected and exchanged it with a better thing. And that was made over a period of 23 years. Where sallallahu alayhi wa sallam will enforce the good manners among and upon his people year by year until sallallahu alayhi wa sallam passed away, and the good manners was among the companions. And that's why it was an amazing thing for the non-Arabs who knew so much about the Arabs to see them so united when they were so divided. And it was amazing, and they were so amazed, those non-Arabs outside the Arabian Peninsula, to see the Arabs so firm and strong when they weren't. To see them so educated when they weren't. To see them so powerful when they weren't. And when they used to go and speak to the non-believers, and they used to go and, like one of the incidents in the Qadisiyah, when Al-Mughira ibn Shu'bah radiallahu ta'ala anhu was sent by Sa'd ibn Abu Waqqas to negotiate with Rustam, Rustam told him, you were people who we used to neglect and not look up to. And you were people all the time in need of us. And you people that you don't even know how you run properly. And now you want to come and ask us and enforce your powers over us. So that was the picture that the non-Arabs had over the Arabs. But subhanAllah, because of Islam, that picture was changed fully from being the lowest into being the highest. From being disrespected into being the most respected. And alayhi salatu wassalam will teach the companions day by day about the perfect and good manners. Yani to the smallest thing. The sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he even mentioned about removing the harms from the path of the believers. In which he says, removing a harm, anything that harms the Muslims, on the streets of the Muslims, removing that harm is one of the levels of Iman. If something harms Muslims, and someone moves that thing that Muslims are getting harmed from, is one of the levels of Iman. The alayhi salatu wassalam, he said, one person entered the paradise because he removed a tree that was on the path of the believers that used to harm them. He removed it, Allah Azza wa Jalla made him enter the paradise. And in one tree that was in the middle of the path of the believers, this man removed this tree. Because it harms the Muslims, Allah made him enter the paradise. Maybe this man didn't do as much as good as others, but because of this small good action, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made him enter the paradise. وَالْكَلِمَةُ الطَّيِّبَةُ صَدَقَةٌ. Speaking the good, a nice word, it's a donation. It's a portion of the Iman. One nice word. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah Azza wa Jal, He described as the good word. Allah will elevate it and plant it as a good tree. وَمَثَلُ كَلِمَةٍ طَيِّبَةٍ كَشَجَرَةٍ طَيِّبَةٍ أَصْلُهَا ثَابِتٌ وَفُرْعَةٌ فِي السَّمَاءِ. A good word is like a good plant with strong roots and strong leaves. And a bad word is like a bad tree with weak roots and weak leaves. One word, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, said one good word will be spoken that someone doesn't even think about, will make him enter the paradise. One bad word someone will speak that he doesn't even think how bad it is or how evil this bad word is, will take him to the hell. Will take him to the hellfire. And one bad word that someone maybe doesn't even think how bad and evil this word is, will might end up this person in the hellfire. And one good word that someone doesn't even think how good this word is, may take that person to the paradise. So a word will make this person enter the paradise. A lot of things that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ mentioned, and he told the companions that the companions radiallahu ta'ala anhum were following the footsteps of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. They'll see